In yoga, standing tall is called Tadasana, or mountain pose, but there's another name for it, Samastahi, which is equal standing, and I love that name. I love the concept of equal standing. Equal standing for me has us stand with our ears in line with the shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles. The thighs are back, the front ribs are soft, the back of the neck lengthens long. And I think the tendency for most people, it can be very subtle, but the pelvis tucks under and the thighs soften, the shoulders fall behind the hips. It can be more exaggerated, but it can also be really subtle. Just a tiny tuck of the pelvis takes the thighs forward and closes off the creases of the hips. We really want to keep them open. But let's take a look at what happens in the lower back and the lower belly when I take someone's legs to the right place. When I take the legs back underneath the pelvis, if there is not a lot of tone in the core, very often this feeling can happen, or it's literal, this can happen to the upper body, where the legs move under the pelvis, but the whole lower back, lower belly complex is all thrown off. The problem with that is most people then correct that by tucking the pelvis under to bring the trunk back. And we have to learn how to keep the thighs back and pull the lower belly in and up. Pull the lower belly. The ribs move towards the pelvis a little bit. The navel moves towards the spine. The lower back lengthens for the head, neck, and chest to rise and elevate. Again, subtly, the tendency is the pelvis tucks under and the thighs fall backwards. When the legs go back, doesn't mean for everybody, but for a lot of people, this gets completely thrown off. And then you need core tone to pull the belly in, lengthen the back, keeping the legs under. If you don't have the core tone, the tendency is most likely that to get everything back and in, you're going to re-tuck the pelvis. And we're always trying to avoid that. The thighs are back in space. Let's say this happens. Over time, you're going to learn to shorten the front body, lengthen the back body, bring everything in line without losing the good placement of the pelvis and the really nice plumb line of the body, from the ears to the shoulders to the hips to the knees to the ankles. Samastahi, equal standing.